Hey guys, I decided to address this Q&A episode outside. It's a beautiful day today. The sky is blue, everything's blooming. It's a really nice time of the year, and it puts me in a very, very zen-like state because the question that I'm answering has to do with addiction, and particularly this individual wanted an answer for how to handle addiction of sugar or addiction of sweets. And it's a pet peeve of mine to use that term for something like sweets or sugar or coffee. That's a very colloquialism type of term where people use that all the time. You'll hear it all the time. Oh, I'm addicted to sugar. I'm addicted to sweets. I'm addicted to coffee. I'm addicted to the gym. I'm addicted to all these different things. And in reality, you're not addicted to those things. That word is very specific. It's a very specific word. People that deal with real addiction, like alcohol addiction, drug addiction. Have you ever seen somebody that has to go through withdrawals from heroin? It's a terrible scene. Not just heroin, but even something like alcohol. Ooh, sun's coming out. And it's just one of those things where we're using that term kind of downplays the seriousness of the people that have to deal with those very serious issues. You're not addicted to sugar. Let's just be clear about, scientifically speaking, there's nothing about sugar that is addictive as far as its properties are concerned. It's not like, oh, you take a hit of sugar and then you're addicted, or there's nothing about it that's addictive. The fact of the matter is it's a choice. You've chosen to have sugar. You're not addicted to it. You've chosen to have it. So what happens is you taste the sugar. It tastes good to you in whatever form it is, and you want to have it again. That's not an addiction. A real physiological addiction is way beyond that. All that is just lack of willpower, lack of mental fortitude. That's what that comes down to. So, and again, I don't mean to downplay people that are having trouble not eating sugar for their health. That is a serious thing, but it is not an addiction. It is just a matter of making a choice and not eating it. Whether it's sugar, whether it's coffee, whatever you want to get off that doesn't have addictive properties doesn't fall into that realm. And coffee is debatable because there is some withdrawal with coffee, and it is classified as a drug in some medical books. So coffee is debatable, but sugar, there's nothing about it that is addictive. And if you really think about it, people that have to go through addiction, it's a very traumatizing experience. To compare that experience with the experience of just trying to get your nutrition right is not a good thing. It downplays their experience and really makes you seem silly. I mean, if you're talking about, oh, I'm addicted to sugar, I'm addicted to sweets, what's going on there? Well, there's one thing that's happening, is you're deferring accountability. You're not taking true ownership. You're saying, oh, it's not my fault, it's the fault of the addiction, which in real addiction does play a factor, right? Like there's a certain point where someone makes a choice, right? They choose to, let's say they choose to drink alcohol, right? That's a choice. And at some point they become addicted to it. And then there's a very delicate relationship between in that scene, right? Like where the choice got him to that point, but now there is a real pull by the substance. So in regard to your diet or your nutrition, there is no pull by real physiological pull by those things like sugar. And I'm using sugar because that was the part of the question that I got, but it can be applied to anything. Sugar is what mainly people have problems with when it comes to nutrition. So that has no pull over you. And when you make it seem like it does, when you say, oh well, I'm addicted to it, you're deferring that accountability to the sugar, to the addiction, to the addictive process, right? Oh, it's not me, it's the addiction. Well, it is you. It's your choice. There is no addiction. That's just a way to take accountability and put it off to the side, to refuse real ownership. But by doing that, you can never really make a choice to stop. Because by doing that, by saying, oh, I'm not accountable, you make it easier for yourself to make the choice to partake. And at the point where you decide, oh, it's not an addiction, I'm just making a bad decision, I'm just making a bad choice, and I need to make a better choice. At that point, you can actually go through the process of making that good decision, because now you've taken it, it's yours, it's on you, and you mentally are going to be able to make that call. But as soon as you defer it to somebody else, as soon as you put it off to somebody else, it's gonna be a lot easier for you to indulge. Like, think about when you were doing projects in school, and the project was just on you. It was a personal project. You would do much better at it, right? But if it's a team project, and there's a person in your team that wants to take on the responsibility, oh, you can have it, right? You can have it, and you don't do anything. That person takes care of everything. Easy to do that, right? When there's somebody there to put it on. But when there's nobody there to put it on, you take the responsibility. You're forced to. And that's what it is. If you want to make a good decision with your nutrition, don't put it off on somebody else. Don't put it off on this abstract idea of addiction that doesn't really apply to the circumstances that you're in. Put it on yourself, and then you will be forced to make a good decision. Or not. Thanks for watching.